I wrote a book. Let's talk about it, and let's talk about how this book can help change lives of many women, hopefully. Hi, my name is Deja May. I'm an author of 3 books: Let's Go There, Guide to the Next Girl, Gorgeous You, and an upcoming book, Darling If You Only Knew. This is my second book. I published this book in 2024, about the spring, and about May. Literally love her so much, and I think it's time as an author that we share more about our books. If someone does not know about your books, how are they going to read them? And so, as someone who was not a best-selling author, but someone who wrote this book, and it was healing for me to write, but also just an amazing book to be able to write and put out there in the world, I want to talk about it. Okay, my book breaks down into about 10 chapters: life, health, boys, high school, college, friendships, travel, faith, everything else I didn't say, and self-everything. So this book, I want it to be different from my first book. My first book, which is Guide for the Next Girl, which has her own amazing video. It is a book where I wrote 100 pages, 10 different topics. As you can put the math, chapter has under 10 pages because I love short and sweet chapters to the point. So talk about it, give you application, you're ready to go. And then also the application, there's another how you can actually utilize this chapter. So a song you can listen to, a verse, a quote to go further. This one is Let's Go There, and then advice, application. At the end of every chapter, it's not broken down as specifically as my first book, but it's let's go home, because at the end of the day, I think it's so important to go home to yourself and to how can we bring everything we learned in this chapter to go back. And so that is where that came from. But this is different because instead of just talking about friendships I talk about friendship breakups, acquaintances, like losing friends, breaking it even further. I think this is so important to have as a book because at the end of the day, there's so many things that I think advice that we can all use, and in this life we're all just trying to figure it out. I don't have everything figured out. As I'm figuring things out, and when I figured out, I want to help other people, because what is a life if you have knowledge and you have experience and you don't share it? Like, what is a life of that? So I want every woman to know she's beautiful, she's unique, and she is worth it. And the introduction, which I love, so let's just like showcase this. And I have a little dedication, and it is titled Decide You Are Enough. And I kind of talked about like 3 truths I think every woman should know. My love heart to you. And I think when you are writing a book, I think it is so beautiful when you can dedicate it to, navigating grief, navigating loss, navigating never being in a relationship, navigating having too much love and being in too many relationships, navigating a dedication maybe about community, about sisterhood, about so many different things. I think that is so beautiful. And so the fact that this book is going to be a resource for young women, and someone who could be like, okay, I'm starting high school, let me read it. Okay, I'm in college and I'm in my last year, let me read it. And it could be an invitation to read it and know that like we talk about certain things. Like, I wanted this to be different from my other books because I didn't want to just talk about one topic and that is it. I wanted to make sure in this that I talk about things that we're talking about. So I'm going to show you 3 spotlights from my book that I hope that women feel encouraged by and know that they're not alone. Okay, we are starting at the end, which is so beautiful. It's called Self-Everything. I break down the different elements of self because there's people say self-love, self-care, but there's also self-esteem, self-acceptance, and there's other forms of self that I think are important to talk about. So this one is I probably should look before I clicked on it. This is in the self-love, and I said, if you want to love yourself, but you hate yourself, you have to replace the hate with love. We already know that love drives out hate. So if you need a self-love arrival, start with driving out the hate. Don't allow yourself to get to a place where you have such self-hatred for yourself that you continue to stay where you aren't valued and do things you wouldn't do. Start your journey by asking yourself, what is the lack of appreciation for yourself that you dim so low that you need to appreciate more? What do you like about yourself so maybe you hadn't embraced yet because of others' opinions? Why do you hate yourself and why? Is it because of others' opinions or lack of knowledge or appreciation for yourself? Find out. And I think that is so powerful because there are some people who walk this earth and they don't really like themselves, so maybe they find themselves getting wrapped up in relationships, maybe they wrap themselves getting wound up in work or other things, when sometimes you need to sit down with yourself and you need to come back home to yourself. You need to come back and replace all of the beliefs about yourself because you're spending every day with yourself. You should love yourself and you should care about yourself. Okay, this isn't my health chapter, and this is the title, Out of Love. Work out because you love yourself and your body, not because you hate it. I used to work out because I did not like the way my body looked and needed to change it immediately. Maybe then I would love myself more, maybe others would love me more, maybe I'd have a boyfriend too. These are all lives that took me a while to reverse, and I know that so many other women believe this too. I challenge you to love your body as it is right now, and then start loving your body even more, so much that you want to nurture her. In the long term, cherish your body. Even when you hit your goal, continue to get your steps in. Move your body at least 60 minutes a day. And I think this is so powerful because you want to love your, like I said, self-love, but love yourself enough to try. And maybe you don't do 60 minutes a day. Maybe you only do 20 minutes a day. Maybe you do 10 minutes a day. Maybe you do 90 minutes a day. Love yourself enough to nurture your body. And honestly, this chapter 4, it says make it fun. I really want this book to be a love letter to young women, knowing that like you don't have to settle. You can make life fun. You can make loving yourself fun. That's why I break down the different elements of self and then ways to actually do it. Okay, and the last one is from the friendship chapter and talks about acquaintances. Not everybody on this earth is going to be my friend or 100% your friend, and that's okay. Acquaintances are those in-between people, a bridge between one becoming a stranger to being labeled as a friend. They aren't someone you necessarily would pretend not to know, but it wouldn't be someone that you call a friend. Or when you cry after a breakup or getting life-changing news. I used to dread acquaintances because I wanted to be friends with everybody, get to know everybody, and be known by everyone. So I thought meeting everyone and it being superficial was a dread to me. But as you get older, acquaintances can lead you to many connections. Your acquaintances could put you in a good word to their friends, which leads you to getting opportunity or a connection. Oh my gosh, I can't talk, y'all. My advice is to be okay with building acquaintances and by having them. Some people who are just the people you know in the service may turn to one of your closest friends in a few years, or someone who encourages you on a bad day. It's okay if the whole world doesn't know the real you, because the ones who are supposed to love you and know you will. So just know that like in this life, like you're going to go through challenges and changes. You're going to go through opportunities when you don't find yourself, that you don't really like yourself in moments, that you really do love yourself in moments. You're going to find it where you are in a job you like, and then a job you don't like. You're going to find it that you are in a friend group that you like, and then it's not getting healthy. You're going to find yourself in so many different elements where you are going to like where you are, and you're not going to like where, but remind yourself that you have the power to change. And so I wanted to go there. I talk more about faith. I talk about a little bit of purity culture. I kind of talk about traveling, and if you get the opportunity to solo travel or take yourself on adventures, I want this to be a book that one young woman can read and know, like, okay, yeah, we really went there. I really went here in this book. Like, I really went there, and I really want this to be a book where hopefully women feel seen and that you can be vulnerable reading it. So maybe people read it and are like, what the heck is this? Maybe people read this and I'm like, this is like one of my favorite books. Regardless, I hope that it leaves you, if you decide to read this amazing book, an opportunity to leave feeling better about yourself and that you know yourself even more. And so that is just my little message for you, is that you deserve to be on this earth. You're worth it. You have value. You have something to offer, and don't get to a place where you forget that. And if you forget that, you gotta get it back. And I think that like it was like, so I punched a hole through the roof y'all, the roof. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm so passionate. It's one of my favorite songs ever, but I love that so much. And so punch a hole through the roof and get out. If you are stuck or you feel like you're losing your spark, get a new spark. Don't allow yourself to not live the life that you're meant to live. And so if it takes years to get that dream life, it takes years. It could take tomorrow taking one action step. But just know is that you have the power to change you. You have the power to live your life. And if it takes time, pray for the life that you're meant to live to come in fruition. I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in the power of you making choices that lead to your decisions. I believe in all of that. So go out there and live your best life, and pick up this book if you want to be encouraged, or if you know somebody in your life who would benefit from this book. I think you should give it a try and you should read it. So thank you so much. It's available where all places are out. I am going to be releasing a second edition of this book, so stay tuned for that. But subscribe, you can find it. Let's go there. She has an Instagram page. I have a podcast mini series that I started, and you can also follow me, Deja May. Thank y'all. Bye.